horse All-Star B at the World Equestrian Games in North Carolina. It was only her second start for the British senior team. She also helped bring home the GB team title. We're going to talk to Roz in just a second, but first, let's have a look at her in action.
The smoothness and the confidence of the partnership are absolutely written on the wall here. And Roz Canter, 5 fences here. And that's a get out of jail card. Now, still, 1 fence in hand for Britain to win the world title, which is now secure. Roz Canter jumps the last fence, and that is simply sensational. The new world champion, the quite sensational 32-year-old from Harrington in Lincolnshire. Roz Canter claims the world title at her first ever attempt.
Well done, Roz.
Wowie.
Congratulations.
Well done, Roz. Lovely to see you.
Fresh off a plane. You've been back for how long now?
I got back on Tuesday evening, and a few days.
Just describe to us the moment when you knew you'd won, because it was a little bit complicated, wasn't it? You had to have a clear round. You managed that, but you still didn't know the medal was yours.
Yeah, so I went into the show jumping in second place, so the leader then had to jump after me. So I was outside, obviously making sure All-Star B was okay, and then...
You weren't watching?
I kind of vaguely saw it on the big screen, and then everyone just started jumping on top of me. So that's all I really remember.
I want to talk to you, Ross, about your relationship with the horse, because yesterday we spoke to Jamie Cook, who won the Modern Pentathlon World Championship, and he says in Modern Pentathlon you literally meet your horse 20 minutes before you ride it, whereas in your event it's all about relationship, isn't it?
Yeah, so I've ridden All-Star B since he was 8, and he's now 13 years old, so we've had quite a long time to get to know each other.
And how does, I know this sounds bonkers, but how does that relationship work, if you like?
It's just massively important. So All-Star B is a huge horse. He's 17 hands. He's one of the bigger horses you'd get in a competition like that. And I'm pushing 5'2", so we're quite an unusual pairing, really. So it's definitely all about the relationship. It's all about making sure that ultimately I'm the one in charge, but that he gets to express himself so that he performs and we create a good show, really.
I love the quote from you where you say, I just have to let him do his job.
Yeah, I mean, you can see on the screen he's such an amazing jumper that like it's my job to try and get him there without really influencing him too much, so that he can show off his jump and clear the poles, and that, you know, it's my job to try and stay relaxed, really.
And what makes him special? Because you ride a lot of other horses as well, don't you? How many have you got?
We've got about 17 in the yard at home.
Right, so what makes him the special one?
He's, I think he's just his temperament, really. So he's really kind and he's really giving. Mm-hmm. So and he's extremely tolerant. So, for example, the big trip to America, flying, going out with different people, and then you get there and he has to acclimatise to the different temperatures and the conditions. There was heat, there was humidity, then there was rain. And he just takes it all in his stride, and that's the great thing about him.
What about time zones? Does that affect the horses as well?
Well, they had nearly a week out there before they competed, so I don't think it does too much. But I mean, he's just the most tolerant horse. He just goes okay and gets on with it.
Well, I'm sure you get this sometimes when people say, you know, that equestrianism it's quite a specialist sport. Some might even go as far as say elitist. If someone's watching this morning and think, you know what, I love horses. I'd love my children to get involved. What's the best way to get into it?
Yeah, I think you've just got to go down to your local riding centres to start with, and go and have lessons. And that's very accessible, really. There's riding centres everywhere. And then if they're really keen, is straight away to get involved with people that do it as a career, like myself. And there's always work experience opportunities, and go from there, really.
Very good advice.
I heard there was a little bit of a party on the plane on the way home.
There was. We had a few cocktails in the airport because we had to go pretty much straight to the airport, so we didn't get a huge amount of time. But yeah, we had a nice time, and then I think we pretty much all just slept on the way home.
Good, maybe. Thank you so much.
Roz, thank you.
Congratulations. Don't forget the medals.
No, don't worry. I'll hand it back. You can watch the highlights of the 2018 World Equestrian Games on the BBC iPlayer.